Okay, see, now in this code, in this piece of code, okay, so in this piece of code, there is one command here. This command is actually, there is a library call operator. So from this library operator, I want to import this function. Okay, so from operator import item getter, and then I write sorted fruit items key item 0. So when you write item 0, it will sort for you based on the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G, O. Okay. When you put 1, it will look at the value. Smallest value is 2, 3, 4, 10. When you put 0, it is arranging based on the key. When you put 1, it is arranging based on value. Okay, that's a special function. Just to introduce a special function. That's it. Okay. All right. Now let's continue. Now loops and control flow. So we want to do some sort of operation based on some condition. Okay. So that's why we have loops. There are many types of loops. Let's look at one by one. The simplest loop is if loop. If a statement is true, do it. Otherwise, don't do it. If I have many, if the statement is true, do this. If else if statement is this, do this, and so on and so forth. We also have a for loop. We also have a while loop. Okay, we'll look at one by one now. First is if and else statement. If this expression is true, then do this. If this is not true, then do this. So we have if else. Okay. If this given number is even number, print even number. Else odd number. Example. Okay. All right. So if I have many, if this number can be divided by 2, print this. If can be divided by 3, print this. Else print this. So I can create expressions. This expressions, I create this expression based on logical operator. So the output of this expression will be 0 or 1 only, Boolean number. So if it is 0, it won't do. If it is 1, it will do. Okay, so I can create many expressions based on what I like. So simple example now. Okay, simple example here. A is 33, B is 200. If B greater than A, then print B is greater than A. So of course B is greater than A. Yeah, you get to C great. Or we can always change to okay. Now the statement is no more true, right? No more true. What will happen? There is nothing. Okay, it did not do it. Okay, if it is true, do it. Otherwise, it won't do it. Maybe you want to write otherwise. This is what you have. If this is true, do B, print B is smaller. If B is greater, print B, else this is a default statement. If this is not true, then do this. Okay, so that's why we get B smaller. Of course, we can always change. We already smaller. Okay, just simply change greater than. So you get B greater. A equal to B. Let's try that. Let's do that. Then it goes to the default statement. Okay. All right. So that's how you write if. Elif means as if. It's a shortcut to say else if. and if direct. Okay, and you see the way to write. Let's see here. Copy, run this. So of course it didn't do. Now see, look at the. Okay, so I write. See, when I enter, right? When I enter, automatically it gives the space, right? How many space? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 space. It gets 1 tab, right? Let's say I don't want to do that. I don't want to give. I don't want to give. You cannot run. Okay. So what if I give 1 space? Okay. It did already, right? So there must be a tab, a small 1 space in order to differentiate. You are doing that nest. We call it nest. This is the nest for if. For if statement, this is the statement to do. Okay, for this if statement. You see below, we have 1. Okay, after the double dot, you have 1. If you don't have like that, automatically it underlines with red line saying that something's wrong. Now you can give space 1, then it goes away. But the standard way is we use 4. 1 tag is 4 spaces. Okay, all right. Now this same again. If this is what is this function? Mode, right? Mode means balance. If balance you divide by 2, balance is 0, then it's even number. Else it is an odd number. Pretty much straightforward, right? Okay. So in exam, I asked you to write. Okay, write a block, a code to differentiate between even number or odd number. So this is the answer. Okay. Okay. Now here we have a positive, negative, positive or negative. So different way of writing. This one is alif. Here. So in this function now, okay. Okay. If you look at this function, they're using a new so-called command. Yeah, same thing just now you saw, right? Import math. Again, math is a function. When you download Python code, this function comes with the Python code, so you don't need to download and do it. It's already with the Python package. So import math. You see, in this library, I am importing a library called math. In this math library, there is a function called sine function. So math dot is means I access a function in math called sine function plus math dot, so math dot access function called log function. Okay, so that is y times 2 sine x plus log x. Okay, all right. So then based on the y value, if y is greater than 1, I'm going to print y is large, else I'm going to print this. Something a little bit extra. So okay. So what is a dot operator? This is called dot operator. What does the dot operator do? Yes, it will access to the library and call that particular function. Okay, you want to check what are the functions available? No, in import math you run. Of course, first we must, for example, import math. And then math dot. You see, so many functions. Oh, too many. Of course, you can always Google and see how all the functions in there, right? But this is, you can, if you want to try something, what is NINF? You can always put a question mark. Like that, if enter, oh, it will convert a string or number to a floating number if possible. String EINF. Right? You might want to take this and then put in Google or in ChatGPT. Simple, it will explain to you with examples. You copy paste your example in here, again, you understand already. Okay, that's how you learn. Okay. Okay, so now for loop. Look at for loop. Wow, for loop is very, very interesting. You always use for loop. Okay, just now we had fruits. Fruit is what type of container is this? Yes, list. Yes. So it's a bracket, you see? It's a list bracket. So we are going through this. For X in fruits, this X is a one by one. 1, 2, 3. So for 1 in fruit, print this. And then 2, print this. 3, print this. So X is actually the item, 1 by 1. Okay. Now let's try. Okay, I write. Okay, this is what I get. Now, what if I write Y? Would it work? Or I simply write something. Work? Huh? See? Oh, it was something wrong already. Huh? It's something too weird. Okay, too weird. Huh? Okay, maybe. What's that? Right? Oh, I write item. Okay, item. Oops. Can what happened? I only have some fruits cherry. Okay, item. Huh? Item. Okay. Sorry, I didn't change here. Print item, right? Work. Will it work? It will work. Right. You put anything also, it will work. As long as this item represents each element. So you can write a simple X fruit also can work. Not fruits, yeah? Fruits is all this. Just for one fruit, in fruits, print fruit. Okay? Can work. So what it means, in brief, the function for is here, whatever you write represents one item. That item will be iterated through the list. Okay? As long as you write the same. For X in fruits, for item in fruits, print fruit. For item in fruit, print item. Okay? That's how we write for loop. Okay? So here another thing is I'm going through each item. In what? In this list fruits. So this is actually a list for this is item in the list. It can be also a tuple. It can be also an array. Okay? Okay, it can be also a number. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Can. Later we'll have to look at different examples. Okay, see this one now. For I in range 5. This range actually will do number from just now we saw 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It won't do 5. That's the range 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm creating a list out of this range actually 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Print I. So you get until 4. Okay. So this time around, this is actually a list also. Okay. It's always a list for loop. Okay. Another example. Now, this example is also interesting in a sense that, now let's go through one by one. First, I initiate n equals to 10, total equals to 0. So from range 1 to 11, because I want 1 to 10 actually. So I put 11, so I get 1 to 10, right? And then total plus equals to I. What it means is that total plus total plus. All right. Okay. So first of all, this function, what this for loop does is that it will add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until n10 actually. Okay. This function. Okay. Right. So I comment. I comment means it won't run. To comment, you put a hashtag. Right. Comment. Right. This one all is not a command. This is not a command, right? Comment. Let's keep it. So this is actually. This is what it means. But this is a shortcut. Shortcut to write like that. But actually, a new total equals to old total plus I. Because the totals keep being accumulated, right? That's what it means. So sum of n numbers is number of total. Okay? Is that okay? So you understand this, right? Okay. Then print. Okay, printed already. So after you become good at Python code, you won't write like this anymore. You shouldn't write like this. It's too long, right? You usually write like that. It's the same thing. Okay? So you, of course, you get the same answer. All right. Next is writing a factorial. So 5 factorial. 1 times 2 times 3 to 4 to 5. That's how we do. So we can do with a for loop. For I in range 1 to n plus 1. Yeah. N is whatever number that we want to change to. Factorial equals to this is the same thing again. What it means? Huh? What it means? Factorial equals to factorial times I. So I is 1 times 1 times 2, sorry, 1 times 1, so 1 times 2, 2 times 3, 3 times 4. It goes on, right? Until the end. Then you get the answer. Okay? Is it okay? So of course you have to do exercise and you get better doing it. All right. Next is multiplication table. See again for I in range 1 to 13, I want to do multiplication table until 12. Okay. So print num I. So this is 7. I is okay. The increment 1 until 12 equals to a num times I. Oh, very nice, right? Okay. More example. Too many examples. Okay, let's go to while loop now. Now while loop, let's differentiate. So the for loop, just now you saw, if you have a for loop for I in some list. The while loop is actually an expression, and the output of this statement is either true or false. If this is true, it will do. If this is false, it will not do. Just like if statement. Right? For if statement, same. If this is not true, if this is true, it will do. Otherwise, it won't do. Right? Same. So while works like that, while loop works like that. While I is less than 0. Sorry, I is greater than 0, print I. And then I equals to I minus 1. So for example, I is 5, print, then 5 minus 1 becomes 4. Oh, 4 is still bigger than 0, print, then become 3, print, 2, print, finish. Oh. Okay, so it will print 5, 4, 3, 2. So this is the while loop. What is the difference between while loop and for loop? For loop, the input is always a list, a range, right? Very much fixed. For loop, we know very much fixed. This is it. For while loop, we might not know when to stop. That's why we write a statement. So this statement can be true or false. Okay, that's the difference between this while loop and for loop. So again, I know so many examples. Yeah, this again, adding examples. So the first one here, while some value less than or equals to 50. So this is a statement. As long as this statement is true, it will keep on doing. Since this is what we are controlling, we will always try to reduce it. So here it keep on changing. Right, keep on changing, it will go up. Change, go up, change, go up. Some val equals to some underscore val plus I. That's what it means, right? By now you know already. So it will keep on doing until this one becomes not true, false. I think everybody is okay. Must try, must do exercise, and okay. So another, it's the same thing, another while loop. Okay, so the difference between while loop, I explained when to use while loop. So for example, you want to add first 100 numbers in a series. Okay, use for loop. Calculating factorial of powers, for loop. Iterating until numerical approximation stabilizes. So here we don't know when to stop. So we will write a statement. So we use while loop. Okay, searching until a root is found. Again, I don't know when to stop. I'll write a statement until it becomes false. In a while loop. It's in not in your this one. No? Okay. Okay, then catch picture. Or maybe I'll catch picture and send, huh? In the group. Because this is actually answer sheet. I did answer sheet, then I add some extra notes. The same thing. When to use. Example, when to use. In exam, I'll ask you, okay, write me a statement. When to use. Follow when to use while loop. Then you write. As I said, if you know the fixed number of iteration you need to do, normally for loop. If you don't know, until some statement is true or false, use while loop. Okay. Now tutorial time. Did you do? Did you try? Okay, now let's try one. Do tutorial one, then you